today I'm gonna show you a DA guide for the new instance. But before I do that, let me talk about this instance a little bit. It recently came out in the latest ROM major update, and it's called White Star Airship. This instance is divided into multiple stages, and once you clear it, you get the newly added mysterious runes and also the materials to upgrade it. And depending on how high you clear it and with what ranking, A, S, double S or triple S, you get more rewards. And every week there is like a debuff, which we call it an affix, kinda like the one in Void. So not every week is gonna be the same, it's gonna be a different strategy for every week. And the difficulty level for this instance at the higher update has been quite challenging, even for some whales. So it hasn't been possible for anyone to solo clear it yet. So does that mean that it's not possible for free-to-play or baby whales to clear this dungeon at the highest level? Actually, no, there's a way. And that's because even though classes like Wrath and Ronin are the best for this instance so far, support classes are still needed, like Saint, DA, and Ninja, among other classes. And this is what I'm gonna try to do from now on, how to build a budget build for these classes to be able to get your clear weekly. And today I'm gonna talk about the easiest and less costly class to build, which is the DA. A disclaimer, my DA is far from optimized. It has many wrong gears and I just slapped on whatever I had on it. However, I'm gonna tell you the recommended stuff as well if you want to build a more optimal one. So first, for the gears, I put on anything I found for my regular PvP tank build. So for the weapon, I put on my Sacred weapon. Of course, that's not optimal. If you have a tank weapon, that would be best. For cards, I put on, well, you can ignore the doppel. I put on a mutant Dragon Star, which has a chance to reduce the damage reduction of the enemy hit by 15%, and this makes it easier for your physical DPSs to kill it. I put on the Pouring Sleeping Hat, which is like a safe measure in case I was about to die. It restores my HP, and I put a Nightmare on it to avoid the downside of the sleep effect. It's really nice to stack as much skill damage as you can. Auto attack damage reduction also helps. I used the Baphomet dodge flea attack thingy just because it has skill damage reduction as an enchant. Other option would be to use a Brilliant Love, which reflects the attacks you take by a fireball level 10, which is mostly for a stagger effect. It's not gonna do much damage. Emotional Cleaner, I use that for the skill damage reduction as well. On the left side, I put on my regular PvP offhand. For the armor, I specifically used the poison one with the Argeo card because the affix for this week is a poison one, so that makes me take minimal damage from poison. Skill damaged garment with a jack in it. For the boots, I used my regular PvP one. It's not recommended to use Edga here because you already have many endure skills. What's recommended is that you actually use a Dark Lord Star. It works really amazingly with the DA. However, it's optional, it's not a must to have. And if you go that route, it's better to use 2 Wraith. As for the runes, we have 2 recommended runes. If you don't have them, it's not a deal breaker, but they are nice to have. The first one is a solid barrier rune for the auto guard's trigger rate. It increases your chances of survivability basically, but without it, I think you'll still survive pretty well. The second rune is one that I don't actually have. It is the Saint Chant rune. It provides a higher recovery effect for you and for your teammates, so it does help everyone's survivability. For the skills, and it's a skill that you're gonna use 90% of the time in the run, is the taunt. Basically, you taunt the enemies and make them attack you instead of your teammates. Also, it helps with grouping them, which is your main role. For the other skills that I use, I have this one. The Holy Light Barrier provides skill damage reduction and auto attack damage reduction for you and your teammates. Helps with the survivability. Also, the Prepare for Elite, which has some skills that I'm gonna talk about. First, I maxed out Taunt and I maxed out Endure. Although I don't really need it because I'm using Edgar. If you don't have it, it's better to max it. Auto guard is really important, and you should have it on your Prepare for Elite and keep it up all the time. This is how you block most of your attacks. Next, Battle Chant, which is your main source of healing, and it provides recovery over time and some immunities. And you should have it on your Prepare for Elite as well. Also, another important point, make sure to eat your anti-death food before you begin your run, because dying and getting rest in this instance decreases your chances of getting the triple S. So you want to try to run without anyone dying at all. So this definitely helps for the supports. For the DPS, they should definitely eat the pent food for more damage. So what is your main role in Airship? Number one and foremost, it's to taunt everything, mainly the MVPs and the healers, because there are some healers who might appear in waves in the dungeon, and when you taunt them you can cancel their healing and interrupt their skills, which applies to some MVPs like Soul Player, for example. And now I'm gonna show you a short video of my recent run during this week, which I got a triple S on, so you would have an idea how to play DA.